Okay, you guys can probably hear the cars in the background and everything, but I had to come on here and make this video. I know that I promised you guys I was going to do a live. Right now, there's a lot that's going on in general in my life. You guys also know that I've been on YouTube for 3 years now, and there has been a lot that has transpired, and I want to really talk about, this is just super impromptu for me, turning your pain into your power. And I took like just a couple brief notes because my mind was running a mile a minute. First thing I want to talk about, we're just going to jump right into it, is getting uncomfortable. On your growing journey, your leveling up journey, there's going to be extreme discomfort, okay? You got to get very comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I, for one, have definitely learned in being in this space in the past 3 years that a lot happens. At the same time, you'll experience like something that's super happy, and then something else can attach itself to it that is a negative experience. And you're having to channel through all of these things while still showing up on a public platform in the social media space. This is super important because it's not easy. And I, for one, am channeling through so much. I had to admit to myself, okay, Asha, you have some trauma going on. And my trauma didn't really start to shape until I started my channel. That was from different types of relationships that I had, both romantic and platonic. And more than anything, I've just learned a lot about people in these past years, like on my journey. And the hate is very real. Let's also start out by acknowledging the fact that my Instagram is now suspended for the second time when I don't post anything explicit, salacious, profanity, anything of that nature. And it's just so interesting to me that I'm so threatening that I need to be removed off the platform. That's like, wow. The old me last year, maybe even the first year that I was on YouTube, that would actually make me sad. I've now realized, and I've learned that that actually makes me glad. It's good to know that I'm so threatening that I have to be removed, and I can't share the same internet space. Can you imagine life like that, where it's like, wow, this person is so threatening to me that we can't even share the same space? I guess I really am superior, huh? So I had to get really comfortable with little realizations such as that. I also had to get comfortable with the fact that my delivery is my delivery. And there was definitely a certain point in time, because these are sides to myself, where I felt like, oh, let me tone down the message. Let me make it more palatable for people so that they can digest it. No, choke and spit. It doesn't matter to me. If you're here and you're watching this video, you like me or you don't. If you don't like me, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care, okay? Because you don't like yourself. So before you can like anything or anyone, like yourself first before you decide that you don't like me, okay? And if you don't like me, chances are you don't know me, because that's how that goes. The hate is very, very real. And I am at a point now in my life, and I want this to serve as inspiration for you guys, because there's definitely a purpose for this video, that it is so important to not allow situations, circumstances to constantly back you into a corner. That is precisely how I feel like I've been living my life. You know, we all have different narratives and things like that that we sort of lead by in our life. And for me, it was, oh, I'm too much, or, oh, my personality's too animated, or, oh, you know, I need to tone it down a notch. Why? Why? I'm not offending anybody. So at the end of the day, I'm not shrinking myself. I'm not in that business. So go sell that elsewhere. I'm not in that business. I'm not shrinking myself for anyone or anything. And neither should you. Neither should you. And there was just such a long time, I feel like, where I was just like, like very small, very small. I guess I didn't feel like, because of all of the things that I was dealing with that felt so emotionally heavy, that I guess I deserved to be in that space. And it really did erode at my experience. Now, that's not to say that I'm a victim of anything, because I'm absolutely not. I'm just coming from a healed perspective of all the things that I've dealt with. And what did trigger this impromptu video is just the simple fact that I realize I'm taking up space. I'm taking up ownership. Nobody's getting rid of me. The only way to get rid of me is to unalive me, and that's not happening. So I'm here to say, Asha Christina Foster isn't going anywhere. Who likes me. Who doesn't, don't care, never will. And it is what it is. One thing about myself that I've learned, and I'm sure you guys are as well, is resilience. That's the name of the game. That's how you win at life. It's being resilient. Because whether you're Kim Kardashian or clearly Asha Christina Foster, people are going to talk about you. People are going to lie on you. People are going to gossip. It happens to everybody, no matter what scope of life you're in, whether you have a platform or not. And I want this to serve as proof and a message of encouragement for you guys that you need to turn that pain into power. It's not a weakness. People that see your power before you do, they're going to use that, try and leverage that, and try to ruin your life. Another thing I want to talk about is that spiritual warfare is very real. I am a Christian, and I very much believe, is my eyelash coming off? Oh my God. I very much believe in spiritual warfare. The weapons that they say, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness and principalities, AKA everything is spiritual, or as the world would call it, vibes, energy, just like that. It's very real. And that's why in every individual's life, there will be certain themes that play in your life. And I can only speak on the themes that have been in my life. And me making this video is me setting myself free of them. So, at the end of the day, my personality is my personality, and I love every single bit of myself, just like I did when I hopped on the platform, just like how I got myself, with the love and support of you guys, of course, and Jesus, God, my Father, the subscribers, and having an extremely successful podcast and being able to have these successful platforms. You know, I've just been through so much emotional heaviness and wanting to just hide myself and not wanting to be seen. And part of that, now realizing in hindsight, just as recent as today, not wanting to be seen also played a part in me not wanting to upload anymore, because I didn't want to be visible to anybody, which is why it was so much easier for me to be in the space of podcasting, which also has become a huge love of mine and a huge help for me. And it's like therapy for me to be able to express myself without any sort of production. And then I also had the realization, well, I don't need a production to produce my videos. I can upload this just as is, the way that I want to upload it. I don't have to make it this whole big production, and I'm not going to. Maybe I might add context like words on the screen, but I'm not going to turn it into a big intro, outro, all these different things. That's nice, but for me right now in here, that's not the space that I'm in. Highlighting what I was talking about in terms of spiritual warfare. That is something that I believe we will all have to deal with. And that is something that I have dealt with numerous times. And even right now, I feel like I'm being tried and tested, because this whole theme of people being so threatened by me taking up space on the internet, or whatever these odd, very interesting experiences that I've had on social media, is very, very specific and unique to me. For instance, why is it that randomly my account's getting suspended for the second time? No rhyme or reason whatsoever. Why is it that randomly you know, certain instances and circumstances will happen to me. And there are times in life where having no response, which is always my go-to, is the number one thing. And then there are also times where you got to speak against certain things. And when I say speak against, I also mean speaking over your life and overcoming those giants and overcoming that spiritual warfare and saying, you know what? The devil wants you to back into a corner. The devil doesn't want you to get that promotion at your job. The devil doesn't want you to fulfill your purpose. He wants you to shrink yourself down. He wants you to believe all the things that people say about you. He wants people to leverage your insecurities against you and then, you know, make your mind so vulnerable and weak that you're starting to believe those things, but they are lies. Because at the end of the day, only miserable people participate in miserable activities. Yeah, like I said. So I realize more than ever in hindsight, I am so grateful. Thank you for all my haters. And of course, all my supporters, because it truly has made me so resilient and strong that I let that past version of myself go. I don't need Asha in 2018 anymore. I don't need her anymore. And that was painful for me at first. It really was, because I felt like, you know, the more you know, you feel like, oh, darn, like you miss that sort of innocence about yourself. And the way that I look at it now is I'm wiser, I'm more discerning, I'm more spiritually equipped, and I've activated my faith more than ever in my life. And there will be challenges that many of you will endure, and you're gonna need to probably look back at this video and let it serve for you as a pep talk to overcome those giants and to turn that pain into your power, because that's what it is. Turning pain into power. Sometimes our purpose is in our pain. A lot of the times our purpose is in our pain. And that's what I feel like as well. It's definitely connected for me, where I'm here to show all of those girls that have been told that you're too much and you're this, and people dictating to you what you deserve in your life, whether it's men or women. Who are they? Who are they? Because last time I checked, we're all human beings. None of us are God. So what's the problem? I really don't get it. It's very confusing to me. If you have a problem with me, call me. If you can't call me, well, babe, that means that we're not friends. That means we're not close enough for you to contact me. In the internet space, you're sitting here, you're ingesting so many people's opinions, and I was waiting for things to, I guess, simmer down, die down in my life. And then I realized, no, Asha, like the bigger that you get, the dreams that I have, the impact that I want to make in the world that's a part of my purpose is going to attract a lot of light, and it's going to attract a lot of darkness. And so I count it all as joy. That is what I've genuinely learned. I count it all as joy. My understanding are my continual steps towards my healing. When people are gossiping about you, I'm genuinely not even saying this as something specific, because me even doing this so impromptu feels like God himself is just speaking through me. And I'm like, all right, Lord, I'm just gonna yield to the calling, park my car, and just get on my phone and film this. That's what this is for. Regardless of what space you're in, people are going to gossip about you. People are going to spread lies about you because they want to bring you down. You can't bring someone down if you don't feel like they're already above you. Think about that. Like I said, number one doesn't worry about number two. You know, I also feel that a part of the things that I've experienced, let's also talk about this while we're at it. People like to make, I was talking to Hale about this too. People like to make collaboration in the social media space feel like something that, I guess the new term is now here, like clout chasing. This person's doing this, this person's doing that. And I want to challenge you guys to consider this. I was listening to a podcast by Remy and Alicia on Pretty Basic, and I loved their podcast with Ava Gutowski, and Ava was saying she was in a room with a bunch of billionaires, and she was so surprised with how resourceful that they were with sharing their connections. And of course, to be honest, you do have to prove yourself to get in certain spaces, to have certain access. But what I want you guys to know is that no man is an island. Let that sink in. Enough of this ridiculous, uneducated narrative of, oh, if you're with this person, then you're clout chasing, or if you're with that person. No, access is everything. Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube. He had to meet Scooter Braun to get to where he got to. He had the talent, and someone with the connections had to give him that access to become Justin Bieber. If you're in the social media space, I guess, like, you know, YouTube has to recognize you in the algorithm, or let's say you get management. You have to be able to build a following, be a person of interest in order for people to be drawn to you. You have to have your own unique set of traits to take up space, or whatever your format is on the internet. Am I making sense? So no man is an island. And I've realized there's this negative narrative that has plagued us to not want to be friends with certain people and to not want us to collaborate with others. When look at all the people back then, like the 2012 to the 2017 YouTubers, they would all collaborate with one another to just cross, you know, promote each other's platforms and have fun with it. And it was nice and it was fun. Like, enough of the negativity on the internet. I know it will always exist, but it's really just getting tired and old, like some of you are. And it really needs to be laid to rest and put to bed, because we've had enough about it. We've had enough about people taking up space on the internet, giving very stupid and ignorant and uneducated advice, and also turning the internet into a war zone. One thing about me that you need to know, if you're tapping in, is I don't do bullies. Asha Christina does not do bullies. We are at this big age. We are at a very big age, and we should not be promoting any sort of weaponizing of our audiences, any sort of bullying on the internet. It's giving disgusting. It's giving unfulfilled. It's giving unhealed. It's giving miserable. It's giving get help. It's giving use my BetterHelp link in the description below. So I say all that to say, I will very much be continuing doing what I'm doing. I will very much be uploading my videos as whatever I want to do, I'm going to do. And I really, in the most humblest way, or not, don't care how this is received, perceived. It doesn't matter, because I know who I am. That's it at the end of the day. You should know who you are at the end of the day. What I say for me in my life should not be offensive towards you. I'm not saying anything directed towards anyone specifically. I'm talking about the themes in my life, things that have been present in my life. If you don't contribute anything positive into my life or meaningful, then you gotta go. We can't punish ourselves for other people's mistakes. We have to be able to move on. That's a part of being a progressive person. So don't buy into this whole narrative that, you know, whatever it is that people are saying about you. Oh, this person is that. Like, you think I'm stupid? You think I don't see what people say about me on the internet sometimes? Oh, it's like I post people and it's like, ooh, clout chaser. I don't post people. Ooh, Asha never posts anybody on her thing. It's like, what do people want? Oh, that's right. I don't care. I only care about my taking up space in a positive way and letting people know that just because you're powerful, and that may be very well intimidating for other people, I don't care. Take up space anyway. Do it anyway. It doesn't matter. Your life is to be lived for you. You're supposed to like you, Not so much worrying about what everyone, and more importantly, it's not even that we're worried about people liking us. Honestly, it's more about us worrying about people that dislike us. We want them to like us. I don't want that. I don't care. Whoever doesn't like me has made their decisions to not like me. What I will not tolerate is them trying to perpetually ruin my life. That's not going to happen. It's just not. Turn your pain into power, and whoever's threatened by it, let them be threatened by it. No one talks about something that isn't great. You know, what's interesting too is this whole Travis and Kylie thing that's going on. It's interesting that Travis releases a statement and says how he doesn't know this random girl who's accusing him of hanging out with her. Now, Travis, buddy, you mean to tell me that a big megastar that you are, that you're going to be acknowledging a random girl who claims to have known you and had intimate relations with you, you're going to say, I have no idea who this person is? Why are you acknowledging someone that you have no idea who they are? You're literally giving it power. Oh, that's right. It's because you're lying. You're lying, Travis. That's what it is. Okay, got it. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like that example that I just gave. If you truly know that you are moved on from something and you're truly unbothered by things, you're just not going to mention it. You're not going to continue to give life to things that are beyond dead. You're just not. And I'm living my best life, and I will continue to live my best life in front of everyone because it's genuine. I've been super vulnerable with you guys, especially on my podcast. I've been super authentic, and I don't want, I've released myself of all of anything that was projected onto me. I set myself free of it. God has set me free of it. God is setting you free up from all the things that people have said about you, tried to speak over you. You're free from those situations. And let that just be the end of that. Just remind yourself that the things that you're going through are for a reason. Everything is going to pan out. And you don't need to be negative or nasty in any capacity. You don't have to do people the way that they do you. You really don't have to. I genuinely mean that, because everybody has their day. You ever heard that saying? It's one of my favorites. I would make a joke about your life, but it looks like life has already done that for me. And I'm gonna just end on that note. I don't know what my next upload is going to be, but I had to just step in here really quickly and post this impromptu video. No planning or anything, because this was really just on my heart. And it is a bit more of a rant. Sorry if it doesn't, actually, I'm not sorry. If it doesn't make sense to you, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Doesn't really matter. I just felt led to talk about this, and it's gonna help someone. Somebody needs a pep talk, because I'm back, and well, and the only way that they win is if you quit.